So setting a quit date is very important. And why do you think, not only just because it acts, but what else does it setting a quit date do? What happens in your head when you know something's set for a particular date? What? Okay, well that is true, right? Before a quit date, people may smoke a little bit more. But what does it do for you when you know on a specific date something's going to happen? It gives you time to prepare. 1 minute you're gung-ho and happy as all things, and the next minute it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. How can I get out of it? That's called ambivalence, and ambivalence is healthy. We need that. If I've got someone who comes up to me and tells me they're perfectly okay and they're ready to quit right this minute and they have absolutely no qualms that they're going to be able to quit, I can almost guarantee that that person will be back to smoking in 48 hours. Because why? They haven't done any of the feelings and the angst and the giving up and resolving and refining their motivation. And so that's really important with the quit date. It gives them time to go through that process that we go through with other things. Get a support system in place. A support system is you. Letting them know that you love them and that you're there to do whatever you can do. Or, if it's you who needs the support system, you know, knowing that there's someone you can call up who's going to say, by the way, when you call up and say, I really, really want a cigarette, who's not going to say, no, you really don't. Have you ever had someone tell, you know, like, you're on a diet, I really want ice cream? No, you don't. Well, you wouldn't have said it if you didn't want it, right? So we don't want to say, no, you don't. What you want to say is, gee, sounds like you're having a tough time. And you know what? Most of the time, that will take care of that urge right there. Yeah, I am. You know, a car cut in front of me on the highway and it scared me, and all I could think of is I wanted to have a cigarette. And just being able to have that conversation, by the way, doesn't just apply to cigarettes, but almost everything, right? We don't want to argue with people's feelings. Throw away tobacco products. I have to tell you a little story about one of my most favorite older adult clients I ever had. She had to quit. You know, and actually no one ever has to quit. You just have to be willing to accept consequences if you don't quit. But she decided she had to quit. But she was absolutely terrified to lose her cigarettes, to throw them away. So she told me she was going to put them away and she wouldn't smoke them, but she was quitting, but they would be there, and that would be kind of like her safety security thing, right? Well, of course, what happened after 24 hours? Went right through that whole pack. So we set another quit date, and I tried to get her to give me her cigarettes, and she said, no, I have to have them. So this time, Linda was smart. I came with a roll of duct tape, and I duct taped that pack of cigarettes into a ball about this big. And I thought, that way, it's safe. She still has it, but that's going to be a lot of work for her to get through that duct tape. Quit date came. She lasted 48 hours, and then, instead of going to the store and buying another pack of cigarettes, she took a knife and cut that duct tape off that pack of cigarettes and smoked the whole thing. So she came back and said, let's try again. I said, are you going to put the cigarettes away? No, I have to have them. This time I had the whole roll of duct tape. And I made, it was a pack of cigarettes in a ball about like this, and I asked her to put it in the freezer, because I thought maybe it'd make it harder to cut through. When it thawed out, it would be gooey and stuff. But bottom line is, if you have cigarettes, you will smoke them. You know, she did cut through them and smoke the whole thing. Now, the good story is she did eventually quit smoking, but it wasn't until she finally resolved that she couldn't have cigarettes in the house. No triggers. Triggers are those things like talking on the phone. If they're trying to quit smoking and they're a big phone talker, what might be a solution for that? Stay off the phone for a while. Call up all your friends and say, you know what, I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm not going to be calling you and talking for a half an hour every night, because that's just going to be a trigger until they're getting used to learning new behavior. Drink lots of water and juice. Why would that be a big one for quitting tobacco? Cleaning out the body, absolutely. If a person smokes 20 years, pack a day, they got a quart of tar in their lungs. It's going to take a while for that to be cleared out. There's another reason, though. Huh? Keep your hand and mouth busy, exactly. They're used to doing this 200 times a day. If you take the cigarettes away, they still want to do this. What do you think they're going to do with it instead? And usually it's going to be sugars because remember, nicotine's a suppressant for simple carbohydrates. So all of a sudden, tobacco users who never liked chocolate turn into chocolate fiends. And that's two reasons. It's sugar, and the other thing is cocoa has the same effect on the brain as nicotine. It's just at a smaller level. And so somehow they know that if they have cocoa, they'll have a similar effect. The other thing is when we look at successful people, people who are successful at quitting, most of them implement an exercise program as part of the quitting process. So they're getting out and moving. So if you have a loved one that you're trying to get quit smoking, go for a walk in the blizzard. I mean, today, you don't even have to move from the spot. You just face the wind and it'll just blow you and you can walk in place, you know? So, but start an exercise program and rewards. We are big in rewards. We actually set a reward schedule. At 48 hours, they get a reward. At 1 week, they get a reward. 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, whatever is important to the person. And by the way, rewards do not have to be food. They don't have to be big monetary things. Quite often, a reward, especially for the women at the first week, is a hot bath with quiet music and reading a book. Some of them will have a glass of wine. But, whatever, we often don't encourage people to have alcohol within 3 weeks of having quit. We are here to help you at the Tobacco Consultation Service. If you are someone who needs to quit or you have a loved one who needs to quit, I really encourage you to give us a call. We actually do pretty well. And if people don't quit with us, they do feel comfortable to come back when they are ready.